Hello everybody. Welcome back to the channel where we talk about stuff. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. There we go. Follow me on Twitter. There's a link in the description below. Two things have happened. Actually three, but two things. One, it looks like, according to analysts, what we deem as long-term holders have finished selling their Bitcoin. I'll explain it in 1 second. The other thing that happened was that short-term holders, people who've been in the market for a couple of months, they usually enter to try and make quick, fast money, which is what we constantly go over. This idea of people getting into the market and not really understanding what the market is per se, and they kind of squander their future wealth, if you will, have also seemingly exhausted their holdings. This is incredibly bullish because it essentially means, according to the indicators, that sellers have basically stopped selling. On one side, usually it's this side of the equation, who typically has more money as far as the long-term holders. Usually, one of the coordinated ways of things that actually ends up happening is essentially a very sophisticated or unsophisticated form of market manipulation, where they figured out how to slow down prices and or move prices in a certain direction, and usually beneficially in their favor. I know it sounds ridiculous. The area is down. If you get people who are coming into the market to make quick, fast money, it tends to have the price of the cryptocurrency market and Bitcoin go up. Usually, whales don't want this because they want to accumulate at cheaper prices. So what they end up doing is they actually sell a portion of their coins. We've gone over this before. And they create a number of sell orders that make it seem like or show that there's a lot of disinterest in Bitcoin. If you, as a brand new investor who have $50, $100 to put into the market, you see that prices are moving sideways, and you happen to look at sell orders or hear the news, and you see that these sell orders of people trying to sell usually outweigh you, it's kind of an indication that prices might go a lot lower than they currently are. So usually these people put in sell orders or sell some of their Bitcoin, and it causes people who are brand new to the market who rode the wave up for like $1,000 or $2,000. The price ends up not going anywhere, and these people end up selling off as well. Usually when we have some kind of seller exhaustion, all that's usually left is kind of people who are buying. If you only have $100 worth of Bitcoin to sell and you sell that 100 Bitcoin, you don't have any more to sell. If they buy back in, the price goes back up, as does it the same way for everyone else as well. It looks like at the time of me making this video, we could actually see or potentially be in the actual bottom for where the price is going to go. Of course, things can dip lower, as we saw before where the price hit, was it like 90,000 or 92,000 on its way down? But it looks like 100,000 is kind of now the base for a lot of this market and where things are going to be going in the future. It's double-pronged because it has allowed essentially rich people to once again flush out people from the market, to be able for them to accumulate even more Bitcoin when they already have gigantic hordes of Bitcoin and they don't need any more. And the other double pronging of it is that people who should be in the market or who would benefit from being in the market have left the market, and they'll rejoin the market. Here's the other prong, I guess triple pronged. They'll be back in the market as prices go back up because they'll FOMO back in, fear of missing out back in, upon realizing that they shouldn't have sold. And it's just one of those lessons that people kind of have to learn. But a lot of people who get into the market are not here for long-term gains and or for generational wealth. They're here to try and make quick, fast money because they heard about it on the news. And then they, I can't say those words, but they found out. Tying directly into this news in what should be completely unsurprising is a good word to everyone out there. Microstrategy is back in the news. I refuse, for those of you who didn't see, Microstrategy has rebranded simply as strategy with I think a Bitcoin, like the letter B in the front or the back or something like that. It sounds ridiculous. I'm not calling you B strategy. I'm not calling you strategy B. I'm just calling you Microstrategy. The rebranding is incredibly weird, and I don't know why they did it. Michael Saylor and co. Pretended like they weren't going to be buying Bitcoin like a week ago, and then they bought more Bitcoin. For those of you who, it wasn't like it was major. Actually, no, stopping it. People pretended that this was like the most detrimental news that we've ever had within the cryptocurrency space. Microstrategy basically announced that they would be like slowing down their Bitcoin purchases. They've been buying Bitcoin historically, like every 2 to 3 months. And then for some reason, the last like 3 to 4 months, they were basically buying every week. We know why. It's not really a question as to, like, oh my gosh, why are they buying so much more? If you've missed any of the other videos, I'm going to be saying these words a lot. And I think it's almost impossible to get away from at this point as well. Basically, MicroStrategy has been on a roll, purchasing as much Bitcoin as they possibly can before the United States begins their crypto strategic reserve. And we're also getting a lot of indication that in the next couple of days, weeks, or next month, that around 10 to 15 different states within the United States are going to actively begin buying Bitcoin for their own reserves. This will cause prices to rise higher, and this is why MicroStrategy is trying to buy up as much as they actually can right now. They announced another, and this should be more significant, and that's the really weird part. They announced that they spent another $1.1 billion to acquire another 10,000 Bitcoin to add to their supply. MicroStrategy is currently sitting very close to 500,000 Bitcoin, and they've announced before that they're never going to stop buying. I hate that their names are so close. Michael Saylor, MicroStrategy. Michael Saylor, who's the CEO, was recently, this was maybe like a month or two, I don't remember. He was on TV and he was announcing, he thinks that Bitcoin is going to $1 million+ per coin. I mean, he's already said he thinks Bitcoin's going to like $28 million, but I guess for the sake of TV, they were asking him, where do you think Bitcoin can go? Like that kind of thing. He said over $1 million, and they were like, oh, that's a hefty sum. And he was like, I still plan on buying Bitcoin even after it goes above $1 million. For those of you who are blissfully unaware, a lot of Bitcoin maximalists, and I'll even say it this way, according to charts and Bitcoin's scarcity, by the time we get to the year 2040, 2050, a lot of people are expecting that Bitcoin's price could be over $100 million per coin. I know it sounds insane, but I had to bring you the news. Don't forget the guy from Fidelity who said he thinks by 2038. I don't know if that's feasible, but he works at Fidelity, so maybe his brain is bigger than mine. But he thinks that by 2038, Bitcoin could be over $1 billion per coin. Once again, I know it's a big number. I know. It also shocked me as well. MicroStrategy continues to buy more Bitcoin than they've ever kind of done before, and it looks like seller exhaustion has actually taken place. And logistically, it looks like the only way that we have to go from here is basically up in price. Over the course of March, analysts have said they're expecting a $150,000 to $170,000 Bitcoin. Grain of salt. No one knows exactly where the prices are going to go, but Bitcoin keeps getting scarcer and scarcer. Not a word. Is it a word? Scarcer. Those apples are scarcer than... No, that's not a word. Hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all are having a great day. Morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and supporting. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.